Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Brady. So I'm excited because today is my 200th day on HRT. I did one of these videos when I reached 100 days on HRT, and I would really like to do this just moving forward because I think it's fun to document these things, and it's like a significant event that happened. I've been 200 whole days on HRT, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, the next one I'll do probably won't be for another like 6 months though, because I don't want to do one for 300 days and then do one for a year. I would rather just do one for 1 year on HRT, which that date is going to be on October 1st. But it's only been 200 days. I feel like the last time I did one of these was, I don't know, it was a little weird. I don't know. I was definitely still feeling like a lot of dysphoria. I was definitely feeling very like scared to go out. Like the way you guys saw me on my channel, really, I almost would never like go out with a full face of makeup and like with women's clothes on because I was still so insecure that people would look at me and people would like I don't know, over like, you know what I'm saying? So I really was just kind of like only in the very specific environments that I feel safe to like do that. And honestly, since that video, which was around I think like in January is when kind of right before my 25th birthday is I believe when I recorded that video. Um since then, though, I have been feeling so much better. I have been feeling so much happier. I don't really worry about that anymore. I just go where I want to. I think one of the things that really changed was obviously I have hair extensions now, and that like honestly really changed my self-perception. I didn't think I was like I think I would have been fine if even seeing how I was back then with my shorter hair, like I don't even think it really like people really would have cared or even fucking noticed. To be honest, noticed me like, but I had just so much anxiety around going places and people being perceived certain ways that it just really like was dominating like a lot of my mind. So but everything I said in that video was true. I did feel a lot more less dysphoric in that video than I did like the previous time I talked about this, which was when I came out. So it was before I even started HRT. Maybe I should have started a video. I should have done a video like the day I started HRT, but it was very just like personal. Like I was like not sure how it was gonna go. Like it just was a lot. Also, since the 100-day video, I started seeing a new doctor. I've been going to like this LGBT center around the hometown that I grew up in, and it's been really great to like meet other trans people and to like have that experience. So yeah, I've been feeling like everything has been progressing, and I feel like I still have days where I feel very dysphoric and feel very like bad about myself, but um most of the time, especially when I do my makeup and like my hair and like I do everything, I feel good. Like right now I feel good. Also since that video, there's been a lot of like in real life, is that how you describe it? Like things happening in the real world that are very upsetting and like very scary for people who are transgender. So, yeah, that has affected me. I'm not gonna lie. It hasn't affected me directly. Luckily, I live in California, so I don't have to worry too much about all of this legislation that's happening. But I know a lot of people are, and like every day, it's like it gets worse and worse. Like every day, the news is even more horrible than the last day, and it's very upsetting. I'll be honest, because I think it's frustrating to feel like there's a discussion that's being taken place, and the last person that they're asking about is the person who they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it feels. Like the last people that people want to hear from are transgender people with positive experiences, positive outcomes since starting HRT, like me, right? And they want to discount those experiences. They want to make it seem like we're mentally ill or something, which is just insane. Because honestly, most of these people are very mentally ill. Most of these bigots and people who are against transgender rights and against people being able to have autonomy over what they do in their own life, it's mostly because they have a deep insecurity with transgender people for their own reason. It really doesn't have anything to do with individual trans people. So yeah, I mean it's scary, and I'm experiencing all these things like right alongside all of you. So I understand how like worrying it can be to like watch this stuff on the news and especially be trans and for it to be like our entire world and for like people to not even really care or not even notice. With all that being said, I think the amount of progress we've made in society is leaps and bounds from when I was growing up, you know? I made a video actually like last month at this point, where I was talking about some of my experiences growing up, like where I kind of came from. It was an hour and a half long video. Like I don't expect most people to have watched it, but it was good to like get it all out there because those were things that I had like lived with for so long. And yeah, it felt good to like release that and for the right people to like really actually want to watch it and want to see it. That was important to me. So yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of things that have gone down in these 100 days since I last made that video. I can't believe it's been 100 days. I really can't believe it's been 100. It's been 100 days and it's been 2023 like since I made that video. So we're almost already done with 2023. So last time I also talked about some of the changes. I think that a lot of the changes really did take place in the first 100 days of like the first initial things that were starting to change. And I've definitely had progress since then and things have like progressed and gotten better. Like I feel like a lot of the time like my skin texture is very different now than it even was 100 days ago. And you know, honestly, I think my wrinkles are like starting to like subside on my forehead. I'm very like insecure about all my wrinkles on my face. But honestly, HRT has helped that alongside I take retinol. So if you're trans and you want to like improve the face, you know, improve the texture of your skin on your face, I would really, really recommend washing your face every day, first of all. Hello. I know a lot of you out there, like when you're a male, right, and you grow up as a male, like it's just not something that is really taught for you to do. But I'm telling you, if you start transitioning, the first thing that you should start doing is get a face wash, get moisturizer, a facial moisturizer, and wash your face every day, use moisturizer, use retinol. Make sure you use moisturizer with retinol and maybe even sunscreen if you use retinol, because retinol can be very damaging to your skin if you don't use moisturizer and like protect it from the sun. So just keep that in mind. If you do use retinol, you can find like at any like pharmacy pretty much, or any like beauty supplies place. So like, you know, just that is my suggestion. HRT does a lot. I feel like it does a lot to like improve a lot of things like the texture of your skin and things like that. It doesn't change your like the things it doesn't do is like it's not gonna change your voice. It's not gonna, you know, really change like any of the structure of your face or your body. Really, like it will have you develop feminine features, obviously, like breasts and like hips. Like those things are probably going to come along with HRT the longer that you take it. And I have noticed that the longer that I've taken it. But if you really want to make improvements, then you're going to have to like put in the extra step on top of it, not just taking HRT, but like maybe working out or like doing things that are going to improve the overall, you know, the overall look, I guess. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Also, makeup does a lot of wonders. Like, I'm afraid to go without makeup now. But makeup does a lot. And it does a lot to, like, alleviate the dysphoria, for me at least. It really, makeup, changing my hair, and starting HRT, which really were, like, the three major things for me that made me start feeling like I'm living as a woman. I'm not really worried about other people being perceived a certain way. Even though I know that there are things about me that are still clocky or whatever about a trans woman, it just doesn't really matter. Like at some point you get to that point where like you're being perceived the way that you are. So like I'm going places and yeah, if you look very closely, like you can see I kind of have like more prominent Adam's apple, but most people aren't doing that. They're just not doing it. Like they're not looking, they're not seeing that. So that's the big thing that also, like once you start getting to kind of the point where you're presenting more as the gender that you feel like those things, the dysphoria is not going to go away. You're still going to feel like anxiety about those things, but they're going to be less significant. They're going to be less noticeable, if that makes sense. And HRT, honestly, saved my life. Like, I can't even tell you that I could not have lived in this world a day longer without HRT. Like, that is honestly 100% how I felt. I don't know how I even went 24 years without having any kind of, like, assistance, because it just does a lot to you. It does a lot for how you perceive yourself, at least for me. Like I can't really speak to other trans women because I know a lot of trans women don't take HRT, but for me, it was something that was like absolutely necessary, and I'm really glad that I decided to do it because I was kind of on the fence when I first came out, and I was really kind of unsure whether I wanted to do HRT or not, because I was like being bombarded with like misinformation, if I'm being real, misinformation about HRT and things about, oh, you're gonna regret it, oh, like things are irreversible, like all of this stuff. Which some of the effects of HRT are irreversible, but they like I mean, I was never in a position where I wasn't being asked and told like everything that was going to happen. You know, when you have a doctor, a responsible doctor, hopefully, then they will tell you all of the potential effects that come along with HRT, and will make sure that you are absolutely sure that that is what you want to do. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I wouldn't worry that like I worried kind of a lot about HRT at first. I was really like, in the misinformation of it and like learning all these like things that are like bad about it or whatever, and like things like, oh, it's like the side effects or like the potential risks of it, and those things are just they're not. It's like medicine. It's like any other medicine, which like any other medicine, there are potentially some risks and some consequences to taking it. But overall, if it treats the thing that you need it to treat, then it's gonna benefit you way more than not taking it. So that's how I view HRT. And I haven't really had like any negative side effect. One of the side effects I kind of had was like I was peeing a lot because I'm taking T blockers, and that acts as like a diuretic. But to be honest, like after the first 3 or 4 months, that kind of went away, to be honest. Like now I'm not really feeling like I pee a lot anymore. I don't know. It's probably I feel like my hormones just kind of balance out. That's how I feel. I feel like it kind of just got to the point where like now I'm feeling more normal about it. Like I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't really know. Um but yeah, I'm thinking about other things the HRT did. Yeah, I'm still having like weird dreams less often, I feel like. Less often. They're not as violent as they were like when I first started. I was really having like violent, crazy dreams and very like vivid ones. And they still are kind of vivid, and I would say that they're still like disturbing sometimes, but it's just with everything that's going on, the amount of stress that I feel like I'm under like at all times, it feels like kind of more normal, to be honest. And most of the time it's actually been improving like as time has gone on. So, I know that like I'm in the middle of it. I know that I'm only like 6 months into it, which really is like not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time at all. So for me, it's something that I'm like, the changes, like it's been what's the word? There have been struggles or difficulties, but overall it's been so beneficial for me. So beneficial. Like if all I have to deal with is like some more vivid dreams and like remembering like dreams more, like I don't really care. Like I don't really care. And I used to have dreams like that too. I mean, even before I started HRT, I was having like these crazy violent dreams about getting attacked by tigers and things like that. Like, but I remember I think I talked about that in the last video. But um, so I don't even know if really I think the HRT just like enhanced what I was already going through with my dreams. I don't know, but it's been alleviated a little bit. I have noticed development in my body like since 100 days ago, like and I think that I'm gonna be seeing even more in the next 100 days. So I'm excited, to be honest. I'm happy with all the changes that have happened. Like I feel so much better about myself. Like I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna be real. I didn't really think I had like chest dysphoria as much, like having dysphoria around not having breasts. Like I didn't realize how much that was like affecting me and affecting my self-image until I started like HRT, and then I started like developing breasts. Then I was like, oh, okay, that actually changes the way that you view yourself. It really makes you feel like, oh, like I am a woman. Like I'm not like there's not something wrong with me. Like I just didn't have medicine that I needed. Like that's what it was. As for like hair and stuff, because I just want to go over everything, because I know people have questions, and I know that they probably are wanting like real actual experiences. HRT does not stop your hair from growing. It's not gonna like prevent your hair. Like once your hair follicles are activated by testosterone, I believe, like they're just gonna continue to like function the way that they function. It's very hard to undo a lot of the changes to testosterone with estrogen. Like once you've developed things through testosterone, you can't just like undo it through estrogen. That's not really how it works. That's why trans feminine people mostly seem to like require a little more like gender affirming care a little more often than trans masculine people is kind of what I've started to notice. That's just a subjective thing though. I can't really say for certain, but that's what it seems like because I think testosterone just does a lot for your body. It really does. Trans mass people are very lucky because like testosterone is that miracle drug that will like give you body hair and give you like it'll develop everything. Like it's crazy. It really is crazy. It's very crazy. But estrogen doesn't really do that. It does do a lot for your body. It does have you develop things like obviously like I talked about, but you know, it's one of those things where like if you really have a lot of dysphoria like around your Adam's apple, for instance, like I kind of have like that's something I go through. Yeah, you need to have like facial feminization surgery to like counteract that. And that goes for like facial hair and like certain body hair. I'm very lucky that I was pretty feminine even before like starting HRT. Like I was very lucky that I didn't really have a lot of facial hair. I didn't really have a lot of body hair to be honest. So for me, it was something that I didn't, you know, I've had less dysphoria about, I guess. But if that is something you have a lot more dysphoria around, then maybe going and like doing electrolysis is like maybe that will really be the thing for you. Maybe it's not hair extensions like it was for me. Maybe it's like you need electrolysis. You know, those are just just a suggestion, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I still really like electrolysis. I haven't really done anything. All I've done really is started hormones, did my hair extensions, gotten better at makeup. Like those are really the only things I've really done to start changing my appearance. Obviously in the future I would like certain things, but I'm working those things out. Um, yeah, and I guess it has been a little more difficult like these past 100 days. I think that I was going like living this life every single day it is frustrating sometimes because there's just so many things that I have to do and it can be very overwhelming to like need to like figure out how to do all those things, figure out the right people to go to, figure out the right suggestions to like look up all these things. So a lot of times I just kind of put it off because I'm just like, but you end up in this cycle where like you put things off and then you have dysphoria and then your dysphoria causes you to like want to push things off. So like, it's just, you got to break that cycle. You got to get to the point where like you have to like do that, you know, and that's what I was really going through, like coming up to having my hair extensions is I was really like kind of spiraling because I was feeling very dysphoric about my hair of all things. And I was, even though I was like gonna get hair extensions, I knew that I was gonna get hair extensions. I was still so like, just kind of like, oh my God, like I can't live another day being viewed as a male. Like it just kills me. And luckily, you know, now I'm really approaching that point where I'm not really worrying about that. And even if people do clock me as trans, it's still like they're clocking me as trans. They're not really clocking me as like a male. You know what I'm saying? So it feels a lot. I feel so much better today than I did when I made that video 100 days ago. I wish I could say like more. I wish I could have like all this huge experience. Like I went through this whole, I mean, I did. I mean, I literally transitioned. Like I'm literally a different person than I was last year. But, what I'll say is start hormones as soon as you absolutely start them as soon as you can. If you're on the fence or you think like I want to start hormones, like but I don't know if I should start now or if I should wait. Start now. Start today. Start today. Even if you haven't come out to everyone, I think the thing that I regret is I really was like I'm gonna tell everyone and then I'm gonna get their advice. Like I really should have just looked kind of like searched up things on my own, not gone down like the rabbit hole of like the transphobes, but like look up actual experiences from transgender women and see how they have experienced going on HRT and how that's affected their life. And I wish I really would have just been like, that's just the thing that comes along with transitioning is you're always going to wish that you did things earlier because I mean, obviously if you feel so much happier and like better about yourself after doing something, you're going to wish that you did that thing sooner. Like, I wish I was living as a woman in high school instead of waiting all that time and being so paranoid and being so afraid of what people are going to say and think about how people are going to perceive me and all these things, because it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't really matter. Like, people perceive you the way that they perceive you, and it doesn't change the way that you perceive yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like, everyone can perceive you as a man, or like as, I don't know what. I mean, I feel like at this point, if you're perceiving me as a man, you're lying to yourself. Like, lie to yourself, continue lying to yourself, whatever. Being perceived as like the opposite gender, that doesn't change the fact that you in your own mind are seeing you a certain way. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like this whole idea, I hear this all the time. Like, this is like the playbook, like transphobic like thing to like be like is, oh, you don't need to do all that. You don't need to transition. Why are we telling people to transition? We should be telling them to accept themselves for who they are. And it's very like, sit down, like you actually don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because people have been trying to accept themselves. And what else are you gonna do? Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, I lived 24 years living as a gay guy. I accepted myself as a gay guy. I viewed myself as, I am a feminine gay guy, and that's just what I am, and there's no changing it. It doesn't matter how much I want to be a woman. It's never going to change that. And you know what that did for me? Absolutely nothing. It did nothing. What it did is it actually like maybe kind of destroyed my life, because it made me so insecure and so afraid to like live and exist as a person, that I was having all of this dysphoria that I continue to kind of have today. But it was untreated, right? And it wasn't just all in my head. Now a big portion of my dysphoria is just in my head. I just wanted to give you guys an update to tell you guys how I've been doing, what it's been like for 200 days on HRT. It's really not that exciting, to be honest. I mean, it's exciting because like, if I could have had that immediate, like, if I could have woken up and this is how I would look, then I would feel like 100% like alleviated, I feel like. But because it's been so gradual, it just is a little like, the changes are not as drastic, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't feel like a lot of stuff is happening, but I know that the changes are making a difference, because now I go out places and I'm being perceived as a woman, and people even tell me, like, when I go to that, I don't know if they're just being nice to me, I don't know, but they will tell me, like, I didn't even realize you're trans, like, I thought you were just, like, assigned female at birth, like, so, you know, good for me. I don't know, good for me. It's just sometimes it's hard to see it for you. And also, like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. I'm very nervous to I haven't really seen other people that used to know me before. Like, I haven't really seen my sisters in like a few months. Like, you know, like almost a year now. So I'm a little nervous. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous to like see people, because I feel like they're gonna have like a very shocked reaction that I look very different. But I don't look that. I mean, it's not like I look that different. I really just like am wearing like more feminine clothes and like have longer hair and like do my makeup. Like, I don't know. I mean, my body's different, but I don't know. Other things on HRT, other HRT things, other things. Whenever I make one of these videos, there's always things that I miss that I wish I had like talked about. But do you guys think, if you guys made it this long, I feel like, okay, I should give you guys this. Because some of you out there are gonna be, this is gonna be useful for you. So let's talk. I'll talk about it. The sexual functionality. Let's talk about it. I'll get my glasses on for this one, guys. Jesus. I will say that there is a difference since starting HRT and my, I'll just say like my libido, right? But honestly, it doesn't like affect my life. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even affect my life. Like, I still feel the same way about it, like about men that I used to feel. I still am attracted to men. I still like, I still have functionality, let's say. So like for me, it's just one of those things that, again, like that was something that people kept telling me, like, oh, it's gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and that's gonna happen, and like those things didn't happen. Let's just say that. Like, I'm trying to be a little vague here, like, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And those things, they have not occurred, and they might for you if you, I mean, everyone's body is different, but I haven't, like, even the few kind of changes of regarding that have occurred, they haven't even really been that noticeable, I guess is the way I want to say it. Yeah, let's. I feel weird talking about it. I feel a little afraid. I don't know. I guess the big difference is that like now like dating and stuff. That's a little different because obviously I'm like dating different people. And also it's like that people who are like let's just say that people who are like if you're attracted to a trans woman and you're a man, then you're gay. Like that's what people say. Well, I've dated gay men and I've dated straight men and I've dated bisexual men, and I will say that that's not accurate to reality either. Like I don't know why people say that because I mean I know why. It's because they're transphobic and they're trying to like minimize trans women to just being men, and that's like their whole thing. That's their entire fucking life. But I will say that that is not accurate to reality. It's not accurate to reality. The men who are interested in dating trans women are attracted to women, and the men who are not attracted to women who are homosexual are not interested in dating trans women. That is actual reality. That's actual reality. However much these motherfuckers want to say that it's whatever, that same-sex attraction, all this stuff, like that's like very J.K. Rowling, like what she's like decided to like go and die on this hill, which is that like you have to be like this way if you're gay instead of this way, and it's just not accurate in practice. It's not accurate in practice. It's not. Like I'm sorry to say it, it's not accurate. The guys who I'm dating now are not the same guys that who are attracted to me as when I was a boy, and that's also another reason why I know that things are different and that that I feel better about myself and things. So I'm being perceived the way I'm actually like feel like instead of being perceived as like a gay boy. So I just wanted to say that like that really frustrates me. And also, if you're gonna start dating as a trans person, I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this. This is so much. You guys wanted my 200 days on HRT, so we're gonna get into it. Dating like it's a little fucky. We'll be honest. It's a little fucky because there's just a high expectation on trans women. You know what I'm saying? And most guys who are attracted to trans women, unfortunately, like most guys who are attracted to any woman, are very creepy and like fetishy about it. So those are called chasers. They're called chasers, and you should avoid them at all costs. Let's just say that, because they're gross. They're gross, and they don't. I don't actually feel like chasers are like people who even view trans women as like they view them as like subhuman. Let's just say that. So avoid those guys. And there are a lot of guys who are not chasers and who are not attracted to trans women in a way that is creepy and fetishy. They're attracted to trans women just as they're attracted to any other woman, and those guys exist, and it's fine. Don't be worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't be worried. That's something that my family was kind of worried about, was that I was gonna start dating guys and then they wouldn't know I'm trans and they're gonna like find out I'm trans. Like, first of all, like if you're around me enough, like not only is it gonna come up, you're probably gonna notice things. Like I'll probably say something, or you'll see my giant Adam's apple, whatever. Like you'll probably figure it out. At least from my perspective, I feel like the guys who are attracted, and plus I'm open about it. Like if I'm on an online dating app, I'm very open. But even then, like if I go out and like, you know, I've had experiences now where men have like flirted with me in public and things like that. It is very weird because it's never happened to me in my life. But it's just one of those things that it's like, yeah, just be open and be honest. You know, just be open and be honest. Make sure you're all on the same page. And honestly, like it's a situation where there's a lot of guys out there who like don't even care. Like they don't even care. You know what I'm saying? They don't even care. So that was awkward. That's what I should say? I mean, it's still a progress. It's still a process. This is just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying my perspective. So I don't know. Why am I even saying that? Anyway, if you guys like this video, please go ahead and leave a like and a subscription. And let me know your guys' experiences on HRT if you're ahead of me, which I know a lot of you have been like on HRT for years probably. So like, hey, what's up? We're making it. And I know a lot of you also like commented on my last video and you told me like, I'm starting HRT this date and like, or I started, you know, a few months after you did and stuff like that. So like, tell me how you guys are doing. Tell me what it's like. Are you guys happy? I hope you guys are happy. I hope HRT is doing all the things for you that you wanted it to. I mean, you know, my expectations are kind of low. So I think because my expectations are kind of low, like, um, it's been good because my expectations were so low. That's just my life, really. Like my life is, I'm just very pessimistic. I'm very like things are not gonna work out. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye.